Hey guys, for this week's think piece, I want to talk about using citation generators. In chapter 16, we learn a little bit about citing research, and on, I can't remember what page it is, but one of the pages in there references Microsoft Word and a way that you can create a citation using some of the formatting within that software platform. So I want to talk about the pros and cons, and I think kind of just the reality of citation generators. My statement as an instructor is that I have no problem with any of my students using a citation generator, but just know that I'm still going to grade your work assuming that you created it 100% yourself. And that means that if the generator makes a mistake, that's on you, not on the generator. So just keep that in mind. The pros of using a citation generator is that oftentimes they're accurate and they don't need any modification. And that's a really cool thing. If you have a trusted citation generator, it's usually going to be correct. And this is especially true if you've manually entered all of the correct information. So there are two ways to use citation generators. One of the ways is to auto look up the citation or the source, and I mean like typing the title of a book into the generator, and then it pops up with, you know, an option like, is this the book that you're referencing? So you click on it and it gives you the citation. Another way, same kind of situation, is you might copy and paste a URL into the citation generator, and then it will populate a citation for you. That's not manually entering the information. Manually entering the information, the other way you can use a citation generator is by, I think you click on manual and it says, you know, okay, what's the title? You type the title in, who's the author, editor, year published. So you're typing all that information in, and then it's just saying, okay, based on this template we have, here's what the citation looks like. And if you've manually entered all the information correctly, that you're more likely to get a correct, accurate citation from a generator that doesn't need any modification. The other thing, of course, is that the citation generator is accurate, and so it's quick. And then because it's quick and accurate, hopefully, right, it's not always, we'll see that in the next slide, then there might not be any reason to check a reference guide, or you know, even to the point of some provide a template for you. And so you can check the template based on the citation that's been generated and just make sure that it looks correct. And so again, even though you are technically checking a reference, it's moving more quickly because you don't have to come up with your reference guide, or you don't have to go and search for a reference guide online and then find exactly the source that you're looking for. So if you know how to use it and you know how to use it effectively, and you are making sure you're double checking, then I don't think there is an issue. But if you're not doing those things, here are the cons of using a citation generator. Just as often as it's accurate, it's probably inaccurate. And that comes for a number of reasons. If the generator works by simply copying and pasting a URL or grabbing an information, the situation with the URL is that when you copy and paste that link, I'm guessing, now I'm definitely not a website expert, but I'm guessing what's happening is all of the stuff that happens behind the scenes in that citation generator is it's taking its little bots and they're scanning the page of the URL that you copied, and they're finding information on what's the title, who's the publisher, when was it published, things like that. If the article you read or the website you're looking at has not been coded correctly, and that happens all the time, then those little bots that are scanning that page are not going to be able to pull out the information effectively. So I think that copying and pasting a URL is the biggest way to create a citation that's not correct. It can be correct. I've seen it happen, of course, but it's probably the best and quickest way to have a citation that's not going to be generated correctly. Of course, also, like I mentioned before, there's the opportunity for you to maybe like type in the title and then you click on something and say, yeah, this is the source. So maybe it's a textbook. So the issues with that is that One, you might click on or have a different edition of that textbook than you're giving the options for. You could still use it. You would just need to make sure that, again, you double check and change any information that's incorrect. But also, you know, humans are humans, and someone had to type that information into some kind of database in order for the citation generator to reference that information and create a citation for you. So with that being the case, you know, people have errors, and some kind of error could have happened. This is the biggest thing that I notice with auto-generated citations from databases. So for example, ProQuest that you have access to through the library has citations in there that you can just copy and paste them. They're already made for you. You don't even have to use a generator. They've already been created. You can pick what formatting you want. And that's really great because it saves a lot of time, but they are not always accurate. In fact, I have seen so many of them completely inaccurate. Well, I guess not completely, but majorly inaccurate. So that's something to consider as well. People are humans, and sometimes we take shortcuts, or sometimes we make errors or mistakes, whether those were on accident or not. Also, I think the other con is something just to kind of pay attention to. If you are using a generator, if it did generate that content correctly, when you copy and paste it into the document that you are writing, sometimes the formatting could be lost. So some things that often get lost when copying and pasting is the font that you are using. So sometimes when you copy paste, it will paste, say, Arial, but you're using Times New Roman, so you have to change that. Sometimes when you copy paste, it will not adhere to the double spacing that you've already created for your references page, so you'll have to go back and re-double space. Sometimes when you copy and paste, the font will be blue or light gray or kind of a dark gray, but not black font that's the same color as what you're writing in already. And so you have to just make sure that those things are matching consistently with everything else within your document. Also, you want to make sure that the indentations are accurate as well. So there might just sometimes be a need for extra formatting. So kind of the reality of all of this is that I don't think citation generators are bad. I think that they can be helpful, but you cannot 100% blindly rely on a citation generator. If you want to use one, use it. Double check a reference guide to make sure it's been generated accurately. But the way I see it is that you're already checking a reference guide, and if you find that creating it with a citation generator, checking it for accuracy takes just as long as just doing it yourself, then I would just do it yourself, because it's probably going to be a little bit easier. Excuse me, and you'll probably also in creating so many citations of the same style, you will probably start to memorize that formatting yourself. So as it goes forward, it will move more quickly through it. You can help other people create citations. You'll eventually just practice makes perfect kind of situation. So those are my thoughts on citation generators. If you have any specific questions, please feel free to send me an email. I'd be happy to talk more about it.